All right, then. So we're all set for this week's episode.
Yep. I've done extensive research into the Xbox Red Ring of Death.
Okay.
And the PlayStation Yellow Light of Death.
I mean, that sounds...
Consoles being bricked by updates and everything.
Right.
Cyberpunk, the disastrous launch, also fully studied, mate.
I mean, that's really great and all, but that's not what I said the theme was going to be this week.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you said we're going to take a look at all the mass defects in gaming.
No, Dan. I said let's take a deep dive into the games of Mass Effect.
So my bit about rural and agricultural farmers in North Wales is out the window too, then?
Rural agricultural farm... I don't even... Oh, I get it. Shepherd, yeah?
It's all right. Don't worry, mate. I think I can save this. I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite gaming podcast on the Citadel.
Dan with a gaming flair, pixel dreams and worlds to share, joystick tales and button cues. Welcome to Gaming Views.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Gaming Views. So yes, as the pre-credit thing alluded to, don't worry, we have planned this out. Dan does know what we're talking about. You did, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, I've done my usual research, Dan.
Yeah, we are. It's funny because I said to you earlier when I met you at lunch, I said I've got an idea for a skit for this episode, and I said weirdly it coincides with the idea that you put into the last episode, the ROG ally that you misinterpret all my directions, and I got angry at you on the phone. Now people are going to think that I do get angry at you, and
you do. You scare me regularly when you phone me up and just scream and shout at me in a really high-pitched, gabbering voice.
Cut that out. But yeah, no. So this episode is going to be all things Mass Effect. Yeah, I've heard about it once or twice. I think I like it. So yeah, we decided. And the week this is coming out, it's 7th of November. Or November 7th for our friends overseas, and the community has taken that to be N7 Day, which is normally all things Mass Effect. So yeah, it feels like perfect opportunity. But before we get stuck into that, Dan,
yes,
what you been playing?
I've been playing many things.
You have, haven't you?
I've gone a bit wild.
It's almost like you've got a new little toy that
so yeah, with the purchase of the Asus ROG Xbox Ally X, I've got to get the name right. I've been playing a lot of games, and a lot of them that are suited to handhelds, which has been lovely. And I'm trying to remember what I've been playing now, so I'm just filling in. I've been playing far too much of Ball X Pit or Ball Pit.
Yeah.
I think I showed you. I started it on the Friday evening, and I sent you a thing on Sunday afternoon that said I'd basically played it for a day and 5 hours.
That's impressive, to be fair. That's impressive.
Oh my God, I don't know. I've got time to play anything else. So yeah, I'm pretty much nearly finished the whole game, nearly to the credits, but it's just brilliant. If you haven't played it, go and get it. It's a weird mix of Breakout. What was it? Was it Breakout?
Yeah,
the little ball, but not quite, and like a enemy wave mode and a little village builder. It's an insane mix that just works so beautifully, and especially on a handheld. So that was lovely, and I played an awful lot of that. As I promised in our Halloween episode, which I hope's aired by now, I did go and I played some Silent Hill 2, and it transpires, I talked to my house. I'd never played Silent Hill 2. I'd played Silent Hill, and I hadn't played Silent Hill 2, so I started playing that. I couldn't click with it. I got through the first area and into the apartment block and into the, the machine bit. Yeah, and I couldn't click with it. I might go back and play it. I have also downloaded Until Dawn, so I'm going to give that a go, but I haven't played it yet. I tried a little bit of Wizard with a Gun, but it just drove me insane. The other game I played at the weekend and finished in pretty much one sitting was Keeper, which is beautiful and amazing and an incredible game. And if you have got Game Pass and have 5 hours to spare, please download it, go and play it. It's a Double Fine game, and it's just amazing. I don't want to spoil anything for it because I know you haven't finished it yet, but it's just so beautiful to look at, and it's just a very clever, inventive game that throws lots of things at you in very short spaces. It's not hard. It's a light puzzler and a walking simulator, which makes it sound really naff, but it's a joy to play. And it's one of those games that is just, it doesn't ask anything of you, but it gives you so much back. And I love it for that. So I played that and finished that. And I'm going to go back and have another go because I know the kids want to see it as well, because they really enjoyed watching me play the little bits of it that they did before they went off to do their events at the weekend. And then I played through the first couple of levels of Ninja Gaiden 4, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I am shit at Ninja Gaiden games, but I really enjoyed it. I was really good because I was using hero mode, which basically auto-blocks for you and everything but when you're at low health. And really enjoyed it. And it's just, it runs so well on the ROG. I was shocked. But it is optimized for it. So, and then I've also been, oh my God, I've been playing loads. I've also played quite a bit of Absalom, which is a bit like, it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up, a bit like Hades, if you've played Hades. So you are, except it's not procedurally generated. They are static maps and areas, but it's a bit like Golden Axe going along, but it's also a roguelike. So when you die, you get reborn, a little bit stronger. But that's a joy to play as well. It's so meaty and weighty, the combat. That's great. Really enjoying that and want to get through more of that and finish up. As I said to you, I've just unlocked a third character who's like this ninja that flips around the screen and is brilliant to play. And I've also been playing Slots and Daggers, which is also great, which is a really weird 8-bit kind of slot machine game mixed with an RPG. Yeah, it's a really odd thing but again, I'll put some videos up and images and stuff, but that's an absolute joy to play as well. It's just, it doesn't ask much of you. You're pressing one button, going through, rolling randoms and attacking monsters, and they're attacking back, and you just, the point is to survive as long as you can, earn as many coins and chips as you can, and then build a better character as you go into the next round. So yeah. Wow, that was a whistle-stop tour of all the things I've been playing. I have been busy in the gaming world. I'm making up for lost time because most of my time normally is spent editing, and because we're a little bit ahead, I've been able to not do that. Although I have done last week's episode, so we're still on track. It's all right, Dan.
Yeah, for me, I've had a bit of a mixed bag. So Steam Deck wise, I'm still playing God of War, and I was saying to you before we started, just didn't realise how big that game was in terms of.
It is very big.
So I looked it up just to see, because I was thinking, how much more is this? So I think I'm in the last 4 chapters. So I've had the bit where Atreus falls ill, and then there's a revelation, and then he goes from being a nice little kid to an annoying teenager, it feels like.
Oh, he's a little shit at that point. Yeah.
So, but again, really enjoying it. And it's just so good. And like the battles and how it still kind of throws new enemies at you, and then you get your old blades back, from the first set of games, and that's a lot of fun because then you can mix up.
He gets them out from under his hut, doesn't he?
Yeah. And so really, really enjoying that, and I'll look forward.
My favourite character in that is the I can't remember his name, the head that he hangs from his belt.
Mimi, I think.
Mimi. He's
brilliant,
just hilarious.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. And I'm so glad he's in the second one as well.
Oh, he is. Oh, excellent. Yeah, because I will get that eventually, but I think I'll need a break from God of War. So, been playing that, and what else have I been playing? Oh, I was telling you about it today. There's a funny RPG I've been playing on that called West of Loathing.
Yes.
So, for people listening, it's a black and white stick figure game. So all the characters and animals are stick figures. It's kind of side on, but it is like a turn-based battle RPG, but it's just so funny. It's just, I find it funny. It's my kind of humour. Like I said to you, there's a book you read. You can choose to read it called like the Book of Silly Walks or something. And from now on, my character, each section, like each time you go into a new area, he walks in a stupidly different way. So I said one animation is just him sliding across the floor. Another is like him on hands and, walking like a dog or a horse, sort of like hands and feet. And that's going to be for the whole game, I think now. So, so having real good sort of time with that. Fun. What else? played a bit of Funko Fusion for a review, which I think should have been out by this point. So, yep.
Any good? Well, no spoilers, but is it any good? Yes or no?
Possibly.
Wow. Definitely not giving anything away.
No, because I think it should have come out by now. If not, check it out either previous episodes or upcoming episodes. It's well, I'm getting confused. We're recording everything so out of order at the moment. It's great fun if you love the franchises. So I had a great time playing. So in my runs through, I played The Office, Umbrella Academy, and Hot Fuzz. And, you know, it puts a smile on your face when you're playing those and you're seeing recollection. But the game itself, I think if you're going into it because you want a good, like, shoot 'em up or adventure, probably not your game.
Okay.
But if you're going into it enjoying the franchise, but yeah, that's almost all my reviews. So there we go. So just cut that out and put it
Fine.
Done that. And yeah,
if that's the review, I might just stick it in this
that's what I'm saying. Just do that. Yeah. And yeah, I've started Keeper the other night, so I've got a good 2 or 3 hours into that. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. And I don't know if they listen, but you know, if any of the computer game show, especially David Turner, if you're listening, we know your views on that. So if you feel like you have to come on and defend that, you're welcome back at any point. And at some point, well, we're gonna sort of invite you on for something, but we're gonna tell you it's a different theme, and then we're gonna turn it into why you should have liked that game.
Just fucking wrong.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
you can be wrong. You're allowed an opinion, but you're wrong.
The only other thing was I was away for work for a few days, so I played a lot of Uno on my phone.
Did you not take your Steam Deck with you?
I didn't. It was just going to sit in the hotel room most of the time. It wouldn't be there.
But you go back to your hotel room, Dan.
Yeah, but then one night I was out, and yeah, I just didn't bother.
You'd be very disappointed you weren't playing Ballatrol on your phone.
If I go for next time, if I go for longer, I will. But yeah, it was only a couple of days, so yeah,
that's what it's for.
So that was what we've been playing. A real, well, especially on Dan's side, a real mixed bag there. So.
Probably back with more because Outworld's tease out soon.
Yeah.
Dipping into that.
Look, and I do want us to get into the episode, but there's a few stories all have come up in the last 24 hours, which I just want to highlight. And again, for people watching and listening, I know these would have come out probably just over a week ago for yourselves, but we're recording different times. So I just wanted to touch on
views,
these.
Dan.
Yeah,
it's good gaming views. We've got to have a view on it.
Doesn't matter when your view is, as long as you have one. Right. So the first one, it was just an interesting story I saw about Steam as we're talking about that. So it was a thing saying that as of so what we're saying mid-October, there were over 13,000 new games on Steam this year, and over a third of them haven't made enough to break even on Valve's excuse me. Haven't made enough to break even on Valve's submission fee, and that's $100. So over 40, over 4,000 games, I think, haven't made the $100 fee that the developers or publishers would have paid. Yeah,
I do think some stuff on there is criminally cheap. I mean, yeah, you know, I mentioned to you earlier that Slots and Daggers had launched today, and it was just over £4 or something, £4.60 or something. I'd easily pay over a tenner for that game.
Yeah.
And I think even at RRP, it's like £8. And I, you know, and there's other stuff on there that I'm like, I'd have paid. You know, I'd like Clover Pit will be, you know, similar to that. You know, Clover Pit was similar to that. Sorry, when I bought it. You know, and I'm like, I'd pay more than that because it's just fun, and you know, I don't mind paying that sort of price, you know, more for that sort of game. And so it's, you know, they are criminally cheap games. And the thing that we went through the other day, which was the bundle games.
Oh yes, yeah.
You know, if a bunch of those are thrown into a bundle thing, and you're buying a bundle of 25 games for £15, how much of that's going to the devs?
Yeah,
sweet end of fuck all, right? I mean, like, I don't, you know,
it is interesting. I just wanted to throw it in because the numbers and there is 8%, so that's around 1,140 managed to gross over $100,000. So it's saying that 2025 is shaping up to be the second biggest year this decade in terms of raw release numbers. So yeah, it's something you don't think about when you see the game on there that they've got to pay that submission fee, and it is it's $100, and 40% of them haven't made it yet.
But you do see some of these crazy success stories. There was a guy who developed a game. I can't remember, apologies. The game escapes me, but I'll try and find it and put it in the videos. But he developed a story and he said, before, I can't remember, it appeared somewhere and it will have either been on a show or on an advertisement somewhere. But before that happened, and this is a Steam exclusive game, there were 10 players on it.
Yeah.
A day, less than 10 players. And then suddenly it shot up to like over 100,000 players. Yeah. And he was like, he just, woke up one morning, he was like, fuck. Like, it just been, So, these things do happen. There are little success stories. But yeah, I think, when you can give to the game devs and when you can, unfortunately, it doesn't offer you the choice to give them a bit more. Maybe that's something they should put into Steam, give them a tip or something like that. Yeah. And you can, because I'd have happily done that, like I said.
Well, I guess the thing is there are so many games on there because I guess it's so easy to make a game for the PC and just chuck it on. So, yeah. So that's the first story. The next two concern our friends of recent weeks, Microsoft. So
I don't think they've done anything weird or naughty recently.
They love to be in the news at the moment. So the one thing, and this was today, and it's probably all linking. Well, I know it will link into my next story on them, but it's come out today that allegedly the CFO at Microsoft, and I wish I don't have a name here. I think it's Amy something. Anyway, the upshot is that Xbox has reportedly been tasked by Microsoft to deliver a 30% profit margin. So if you think the industry average is around 17 to 22%, Microsoft are asking Xbox to do almost double the kind of like the minimum of the average. And people are saying now, analysts are saying, is this now very likely the reason for a lot of the layoffs, cancellations and price increases?
100%. There's no other reason why it wouldn't be. The easiest place to go to save costs and increase margins is people and automation. Yeah, without a doubt, that is why. But don't worry, Dan, nothing will change.
No, because do you know how they're going to make that? So not only the wonderful Game Pass increase, but there was another story literally that I saw just as we were coming on that says...
Literally, mate.
Literally,
mate.
The rumoured price for the next Xbox. So, good news is they're making a next Xbox.
That's fantastic.
But it's going to be... The Xbox president, Sarah Bond, said the console will be a very premium... that word, very high-end curated experience. So acting more
as a PC, basically. Yeah. You're going to buy a gaming rig.
Yeah, and so the rumours, or what another website said is actually real, is the next Xbox console could cost anywhere between $800 to $1,200. So ultimately, almost like the ROG, isn't it? So we're looking at what, $600 to £1,000?
Well, it's
or
dollars translates pounds down.
Yeah, well,
so it'll be $1,000 over here easily, but it's all right because it's still cheaper than buying a Xbox Series X dev kit, which now is $2,000 if you want to develop for it. So you can give, that's gone up I think it's gone up $800. So I think it was $1,200 originally.
Yeah.
Now it's $2,000.
Yeah.
For a dev kit or for a 6-7-year-old piece of hardware.
Yeah. Yeah.
How old is it? When did it launch? 20? 5 years.
Yeah. And if that's the case, I mean, we'll probably have to do it in another episode now. But, again, I'm thinking, am I getting that Xbox, or do I then... Yes, I want
it. Stop doing gaming views about Xbox.
Well, no, I was thinking then, do I get a PlayStation? Do I get a PC? But the whole thing is I don't want a desktop. And then, so I probably will have to get the Xbox. But then you're spending...
But you are just buying a PC, Dan. That's what you'll be doing at that point.
But then at that point, I might as well then get a desktop. So then at least we can use it in our office.
You know what's going to happen? The PC community, who are already quite frothing at the mouth about this stuff, will just be like... Because basically it's like, well, the Xbox is basically a PC in a box with a lockdown ecosystem. It's just going to add more fuel to that fire. It's like, why don't you just buy a fucking PC? Yeah. I mean, and they're not wrong, right?
Well, do you know what? At least then we won't need Discord to talk to our friends like the Game Club Pod. We'll just use Microsoft Teams, right? On the Xbox.
Well, it's on everything anyway. It's on my fucking ROG. As is Office.
Yes, I heard that. I heard that on the radio. Because I've always wanted to write a Word document when I'm playing a handheld game.
Do you know what I mean? And the worst thing is, if I remove it, when it does a Windows update, it reinstalls it.
Oh, really? And look, I know, oh man, we are digressing so much. And look, I know people are saying,
Microsoft.
but you can use it as a desktop. I get you can use it, but who does? Who does?
Not me.
You're not going to have households.
I said to you, as soon as Bazite, I can use Game Pass on Bazite, I'm moving over to Bazite. I'm going to rebuild it.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine there's a scenario where houses aren't buying laptops or desktops. They're going to buy a ROG Ally X to use as their main PC. So
it's my main PC. Fuck it, I'm buying a Mac.
And on that, actually, also, did you see where Microsoft felt like they were pretty much throwing Asus under the bus?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. It was all their fault. It was all their price point.
That's all them. Yeah, I'm sure you couldn't have subsidised it, Microsoft, or anything. But yeah, it's
a multi-trillion-dollar company. No, Dan, there's no way they could subsidise anything. They need a 30% profit margin on Xbox.
Yeah, you know the biggest complaint everyone's got about it, the price there wasn't us, Gov. It wasn't us.
Nothing doing me, Governor. I didn't do nothing, Gov. It was all those guys over at Asus.
Right, so
I'll tell you what, they are. What are they doing? What the fuck are they doing? Oh my god!
Join us next week for another episode of Microsoft Views.
Nicely done.
Honestly, if there's anyone from the Xbox division who wants to come on here, we genuinely would love to have a chat. But
fucking come on and defend yourself. I dare you.
But it's got to be also difficult for some, because this is obviously corporate level, isn't it? This is
all day long.
Yeah. But
it's like they suddenly discovered that Microsoft for Xbox, for the last 20 odd years haven't been making any money and gone, oh shit, we should do something about that. And they've just come down on like a ton of bricks, and it's now all the gamers that are paying the price.
Yeah, but 30%, people need to take note of that, because as I said, if the industry average is 17 to the top end, say 22%, asking for almost a third of that extra profit, and
insane.
Probably come from
expect more console price rises, expect more Game Pass price rises, expect fewer day one releases, expect fewer studios existing. They're going to have to shut them down because they can't keep them spinning.
And Microsoft games costing 150 quid. So
yeah.
All right. On that, we are gonna hear from our friends. Let's have a break before we get into the main thrust of this episode. We are going to hear, because they've had me on for a couple of episodes of Mass Effect, and they are lovely lads, and I know Josh also loves Mass Effect. We are going to hear from our friends over at Talking Smack.
Make it so.
Hey Josh, I'm finally ready to do something fun every Wednesday.
Alex, finally. We're going to talk superheroes, movies, animation, comics, and much, much more, right?
Yes, but we're also going to talk Star Trek.
Make it so, my friend. Catch Talking Smack every Wednesday on your podcatcher of choice. We'll see you there, Smackheads.
Right, Dan, we are back.
Yes, Dan.
We are going to talk, not Mass Defects, but we are going to talk about Mass Effect. Now, granted, we've probably got an hour left now. Again, it always sounds so serious. We've got about an hour left.
A countdown.
And we can't do it justice by going into everything. So all I wanted to do was kind of just have a general talk about the franchise, like some of the high points, some of the low points, some facts that I've put in there that you may or may not have known about. And just, what our experiences of the game are. So I know I've probably played it a bit more than yourself. But
do you think?
Yeah, but
I don't know. I mean, I've played each of the original trilogy once. How many have you played them, Dan?
The original I probably played through about 4 times, and the Legendary Edition about 3 or 4 times as well since then.
Oh, okay, sure. So just only 8 times as many times as me.
But you probably played Half-Life more than I've played Mass Effect. But that's another episode. Go check it out. It's a very good episode. Oh, yeah, and housekeeping 25 minutes late. Subscribe to us on everything, right?
Smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Just cut that out and put it at the beginning. So talk to me about sort of what your first experience, or what your experience generally of Mass Effect is.
So I played the original Mass Effect first, on the PC.
Okay.
And I had it. God, what year was the first Mass Effect?
2007.
Yeah. So I was living in a little town just down the road from us. And I had a little office set up in our bedroom, and my monitor was a 32-inch flat screen TV. And the reason I remember this weirdly is because one of the first pictures I ever took on a phone I had at the time was a picture on the TV of, I think it was either one of the loading screens or the front end screens. It was just a picture of the Normandy.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And I thought it looked so beautiful. I was like, I'm going to take a picture of that.
Yeah.
And it's just stuck with me that I've got this picture of the Normandy on this screen. And the reason I got it there is because I played it on the PC when I was there. And I did really enjoy it. I really enjoyed Mass Effect. I enjoyed Mass Effect 2 more because it was more action orientated, more shooty. I have never been a stickler for the story thing. What drew me to it originally was the Paragon Renegade thing. Because it was a time when a lot of games were trying to do something similar. Post Mass Effect kind of probably did it first, but a lot of games were trying to do something similar. I think there was Knights of the Old Republic and games like that were trying to do this, choice thing. And I'd read so much about it. It was like, it does it really well. It's, it really defines your character. I was like, I'm quite interested in that because I've played RPGs that don't do anything, and this adds something extra to it. Plus, I love sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, all those sorts of things, Babylon 5, whatever it was. And I was like, I want to know more about this and play this story. I'd played Dragon Age previously, so I knew, the studio was good. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. But I don't have an affinity to it like you do. It doesn't, there's nothing seriously wrong with it. It's just it never clicked with me in the same way. And even recently, for this episode, I went back to start playing the trilogy again, and I got about an hour into it, and I was like, I was playing the Legendary Edition, and I was just like, oh, God,
I reckon
it's not.
This is an interesting conversation already because, there are some people like yourself, Half-Life will grab them. I think I missed that wave. There's going to be Halo, same, people, Gears of War. I think there are just either games or franchises that get you at the right time. And for me, it was Mass Effect. Now, what you were saying was interesting there because I think the second game might be a better jumping point for yourself.
Yeah.
Because I know, again, we'll invoke the name Game Club Pod. I suggested to them for a thanks, I hate it, to do Mass Effect because Joey has always said, I hate reading games. He goes, he hates reading games. It was a very
good episode, by the way.
Yeah.
I listened to that.
And do you know what it was? I was going for a walk one day around the estate, and I was listening to their Baldur's Gate 3 episode. And I thought...
Again, a very good episode.
Yeah, and I thought, hold on, he doesn't like reading games. There's probably about 10 times more text in Baldur's Gate than there is in...
Yeah, there is.
And so I thought in the 3 games combined. So I said to him, no, you are playing Mass Effect. And then I actually said, no, play Mass Effect 2 because the first one, of course you need to have played them, but you can go straight into the second one. The first one feels more RPG. The last one, I feel, is too late to jump in. Whereas the second one is a bit more actiony. And I think whilst there is a lot of conversations, not as much as the first. But it is interesting you say that because I got it in 2008. I got it with the Xbox. I think in our Xbox episode, I mentioned that. And I was thinking, I went for the Xbox because I remember when I had a PlayStation 2, it was hurting my wrists because of the controller size. But
I'd say you're picking it out wrong, Dan. But
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking it probably helped a bit that Mass Effect at the time was an Xbox exclusive because I didn't think of that. Actually.
It was Xbox and PC. Xbox and PC.
It probably would have been PC, but it was definitely Xbox exclusive. I think actually the first game wasn't available on the PlayStation till much, much later. But I love BioWare because obviously Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. I think they had a couple of other games out. And I just saw it and I was looking over the shoulder. It's like that meme, you know, of the bloke walking.
Yeah.
And I kept looking over the shoulder, at the Xbox. And so, I just was all in for it.
So this was the reason you jumped? It purely, this isn't BioShock, wasn't it?
Is this BioShock and GTA 5? So my PC, no, GTA 4, my PC just crapped out. There wasn't any more juice in it. So I went for the console and I thought perfect because I really wanted those games. And Mass Effect, obviously, you could only get on the Xbox. So I just got taken in by it straight away because I love stories. I love the characters. I love, like, even in films, like, you know, the whole buddy cop thing, the buddy, and, you know, the relationships you can build up in the game. Yeah, it just won me over straight away. It just won me over. And it's that whole space thing, isn't it? I mean, I wasn't really a big fan of Star Trek, Star Wars, all these things, but this really hooked me.
I do remember the companion side missions and stuff, and I did make a point of doing all of them, you know, because we spoke about before. I'm one of those people who, if there's a main mission chain, I just ignore it and I'll go and do all the side missions first. And this felt very much geared towards that because it was like at certain junctures you interacted with a character and got more of their story. I think it was Mass Effect 2 that did that in an even slightly different way, whereas you know, certain parts of the main story had to play out before you could then talk to them in a part of the ship to then go and do another part of their, which, you know, prolonged it, but actually made it more, it weaved it into the story better, I think.
Yeah.
And I genuinely loved that bit of it. And I know it had an impact on some of the end game was it in all of them or just in
the second one predominantly? But
the second one.
Yeah, there is an interesting thing. And this is what I was going to say later. Like, the games had things in it that I didn't realize till much later, you know, like with the advent of, you know, all these guides and internet sites. So just in the first one, there is, so you have to rescue Liara T'Soni. And you can do that.
I remember her name now, Dan.
Yeah, Dan, it still haunts me. So-called favourite character. So the mission comes up at some point, and you can obviously go do that straight away, or you can go do other ones. But the longer you take to rescue her, it'll pass a certain point where she starts having like hallucinations, and she kind of almost goes crazy. So for the rest of the game, she'll never, I think, be as close to you as she would have done. And it's fascinating to know, a game that I've played so many times, there's bits I haven't seen because I play it the same way every single time. Every time.
Yeah.
And yeah, what you say is really interesting. So that's in the second one. So what's affectionately known as a suicide mission. You didn't realise as you were playing it, unless obviously you're late to the game and you've read about it now, that it was almost like this like generator going on in the background, that you had to do certain things to survive the final mission. So you had to do all the characters' loyalty missions.
Right.
You had to buy all the ship upgrades.
Yeah.
And you had to, once you hit a certain mission in the game, if you do more than 2 missions before you go to the final one, you're going to lose characters in the final mission as well.
Right.
And you don't know that. So you think you've done everything right, but you could still lose characters because you haven't done a specific thing or hit it by a certain time.
Got you. Because there's this hidden clock or hidden countdown going on that you're not aware of.
Yeah.
They also did something else with the characters, particularly. So in the second, I do research. In the second and third ones, they changed the Paragon and Renegade system mechanic. So it wasn't just about the points you put into it. It was a percentage based system. So I've got it here. It basically says, to unlock the crucial charm or intimidate dialogue options, you have to maintain a high percentage of either Paragon or Renegade points relative to the total possible points you could earn up to that point, which meant that a very balanced Shepherd, which I'm assuming is one that you went for, you went for a Paragon, didn't you?
Yeah.
Could lock yourself out of the best solutions and force you to commit to just a consistent persona. So you couldn't actually get some of the best options if you weren't high enough in one or the other, which is interesting as well. So it wasn't just about how good or bad you were. It was actually you were locking yourself out of certain things. So whether it was romance options or dialogue options or whatever, which is quite a cool thing as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that would have had an impact on gameplay or outcomes of certain things if you weren't high enough or in either Paragon or Renegade.
Yeah, there's certain things you can or can't do based on the level. On a side note, I've done both. So when I first had the games, I played through as both. So I did a Paragon male ship run through, and then I did a Renegade femme ship run through. So from all games, but since I've done those originally the first time around, I play it as a Paragon because my conscience can't take me doing certain things in that game. So I admit it, I've played
you won't be able to sleep at night, bless.
I've played the same thing over and over again, and it's so much to the point that like I said, my wife will be in the room and she'll know more of the story than I do because I'm focusing on the game. And she won't also let me do certain things. Like sometimes I might be tempted to do Renegade and I'll say the options. She goes, well, you can't do that. That's just mean, isn't it? but also,
my wife would be going, oh, for fuck's sake, you're not playing this again, are you?
But the funny thing also is there's in the last game you have sort of quiet one-on-one time, not sexy time, well, unless you want it to be, with the characters. Yeah, and there's one with Garrus where you go to the top of the Citadel and you're talking about old times and you have a shooting competition to see who's the best, and there's one bit where you can miss the target on purpose or shoot it, and I'm always like, what should we do, because I want to miss on purpose. And she's like, no, he's your friend, you can't be condescending or patronize him like that. She goes, you've got to hit that. If you're better than him, you're better.
Would know. He would know, Dan.
But it's just funny how you start, or depending on how into it you get, you actually start taking these decisions seriously.
Just stop asking your wife, dude. Just make a decision for yourself and do it. Just do it. Do it.
Yeah. Or I should play. I need to play with somebody who'll say, yeah, go on, no, shoot all those innocent people. Yeah,
mate, come round here and play it. I'll do that for you all day long. Nah, fuck it, kill them all. It's right.
But the
devil on your shoulder.
Yeah, the Paragon Renegade thing's interesting. What do you think when games kind of had that? Because you've said there's quite a few. So I mean, BioShock to an extent has got that, right?
Well, yeah, it's not as in your face, is it though? And there's no real meter around it. My favourite example of that, I think, was Fable 3.
Fable games.
I think it was.
We need to do an episode on those. Yeah,
we need to do an episode on Fable. I loved Fable. I loved Lionhead Studios. I loved Pit Molyneux, whatever. But I love the series of games. I'm still so hopeful that Playground Games are going to well 30% margin. They might not now. But yeah, Fable 3 did it brilliantly, where you could have become this virtuous god or this terrible. And I think you even grew horns and stuff. And I loved that because I know Mass Effect does that thing where your character becomes more, is it scarred and your eyes glow red?
In the second one they did that, which I didn't like.
But Fable, it's completely in your face. You are basically turned into a monster or a god as a result of it. And I did do both on, I'm sure it was Fable 3 that did it. I did do both. But I could never let the dog die. That's
you can't. No, you can't.
You can't let the dog die. But I think, dogs don't deserve to be harmed.
I think that fits so in a game like Fable, whereas Mass Effect, where it was this serious, almost like, I want to say human, but what I mean is like human, almost like a show.
Yeah.
The whole scarring thing just felt just a little bit too contrived. And
it's also really, like people with facial malfectations or whatever aren't evil.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's just a stereotype of a Bond villain or whatever. And the other thing is, there are plenty of arseholes in the world who just pass by as normal people. Right? Their eyes don't. If they did, I wish that happened, right? Because I would avoid them. All the best
con men are all these good looking, slick back hair. Yeah. Yeah.
Apart from Trump. But, with the... do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's a really important point.
It's a weird thing to do with... I get what your point. Like, you're right. It's in Fable, in that kind of environment, it makes total sense to do that and, caricature it.
Yeah.
Whereas in a game like Mass Effect, you're like, I'm not sure that would happen. I mean, in Star Trek, when they go to the mirror universe, they haven't all got red eyes and they've just all got bad haircuts and ill-fitting suits. And goatees.
Yeah.
Goatees.
Yeah, you see, what I didn't like with the system, they introduced, I think it was in 2, where you could have Paragon and Renegade interrupts as well. So you'd have to press like the left trigger.
Right.
They might flash up and you could interrupt in a Paragon way and right trigger in a Renegade way. And I didn't like that because, again, we go back to what we were saying, quick time events. I'm playing an RPG, I'm playing a game, and all of a sudden I might put the controller down because I'm watching this really good scene, and all of a sudden it's like, shit. I've got
to pick it up, go get it. Yeah, a bit silly. I think what I enjoyed most about the second one was they moved away from the RNG thing, the random number gods dice rolling to hit thing, and went for a pure shooter mechanic. You know, I think they recognise they need to they broaden their audience. Because whilst, you know, people are used to Dungeons and Dragons and, you know, your D20s and things like that, it works in a game like Baldur's Gate, it works in a game like Oblivion, but in a space shooter, you know, when you are targeting something and hitting that thing and it's going 0, you're like, what do you mean 0? It couldn't miss. How did I miss? Yeah. So, I much preferred that than the, roll dice to hit thing.
Well, I think in the first one, it wasn't as bad as that, but what they did do was really tightened it up. So the second one almost felt more like a shooter, and by the time you get to the third one, it almost felt like Gears of War, like a third-person cover-based.
As a big fan, though, what's your perspective on that? Is that was it sacrificing kind of the RPG approach to move to a more mass market appeal, or do you think was it the right thing to do?
They definitely, they definitely did, and I think it was. And don't hate me. And I think, and again, there are certain things I didn't cover some of the finer details, which is, I think in the second game they introduced like it was thermal clips, so you wouldn't run out of ammo. You just have to reheat, which cool down. Which again, it's that quick shooting game, and for me, I didn't mind it so much because they really amped up everything else, like the storytelling and the characters and the world. So 2 was just such a phenomenal story that it didn't feel like it was dumbed down. Like I think Dragon Age 2, if I remember right, felt very much dumbed down to Dragon Age Origins. Yeah. So I think, yes, there is a bit of appealing.
That was terrible.
Yeah. I think there is a bit.
So bad.
Yeah. There is a bit of appealing to the mass market. But I think what they did is they just made, like, for someone, as you were just saying, like the combat nicer, smoother. But they really did ramp up the world and the RPG storytelling around it.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
So Mass Effect 1 is interesting. So obviously it's the introduction to the game. You understand, you learn about the council. And a lot of it now when you go back is very much in your face, but you know how the council hate the humans, so they're quite prejudiced against the humans. They don't want to see in fact, you're the first human Spectre. You get the ship, the Normandy, which you said, which is iconic in any
very cool
any shape or form.
I want a Lego version of the Normandy. That's what I want.
There you go, Lego. Make it happen. Because I would probably buy that as well.
You would definitely buy that.
You get there's you get Saren, who's the first Spectre, who then turns out the twist is a baddie. You learn about the Reapers and the Protheans. I'm really keeping this very high level because we haven't got time to go into it all.
But the Reapers are an interesting one though, because they were designed as this kind of Lovecraftian world-ending threat, weren't they? So it was that was part of by design, was from the first game onwards, this kind of world-ending tier threat, cosmic horror type thing, which I think they do come across as eventually in my mind. They're I guess like all good sci-fi, they kind of sit around in the background quite a lot, and it's not it gradually builds, doesn't it, with the Reapers?
Yeah. So in the first one, it's more just a mention, and some of them are being indoctrinated by it. In the second one, you're getting a lot more information on it, and I think you do see some of them, and like you get the collectors. And in the third one, they're attacking. So like they're attacking Earth, they're attacking Palaven, which is the Turian homeworld. So they are there and right there, and then a threat. And as you said, they are these creatures at the start, or this race that will wipe out organic life every 50,000 years, but then you turn out it's a cycle that's been going on. They harvest the ones the life forms who have got too big almost for it, and to try bring order back to the chaos. And when you look at sort of the world right now, you think it's like
probably do with the Reapers,
them and Thanos. It's like
it's something you said. There's a really important point around Mass Effect, and something I really liked about it, and that was you talk about the Reapers being very much in the background, then a little bit more exposed, and then kind of to a fully fledged enemy. And the thing I really enjoyed about Mass Effect, and I did, because I did enjoy it, but not as much as you. Is the emerging narrative. And not many games do that over the course of a trilogy so well as Mass Effect. I go as far as say it's almost the benchmark for emergent narratives in games, where you're finding certain stuff out as you go through, but that story carries all the way through. I know Dragon Age does it to an extent, but I think Dragon Age just ends up tripping over itself because it goes to so many different laws about characters and things, whereas this was relatively consistent in the Spectres, the Citadel, Shepard and the Normandy with a one throughput and consistent thread in it. And I think it was a beautifully told tale done really well, with some excellent set pieces and other character side missions and narratives that wove into the story. And it just, for me, it just got better and better until I think about halfway through the third one.
Yeah, I've got thoughts on the third one.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. And it's like, it is a proper trilogy. And it's like they knew what they were doing. And it's when it felt like when developers and publishers made games with a thought behind it. Imagine that.
Yeah, like the original Star Wars trilogy, right?
Yes.
There was a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Empire Strikes Back is like the fucking, the worst ending ever for a Star Wars movie, but it's still the best ending ever for a Star Wars movie because that there's going to be I'm not going to talk about Ewoks, but do you know what I mean? It's in that kind of shape. It's this. There's a beginning, Shepard, fresh, new off the boat, first Spectre. More grizzled in the second one because I think he comes back from the dead or whatever it is. And then in the third one, there's the whole, fighting a battle to save the universe, the chosen one trope thing that we spoke about.
Yeah. And you're right. And the thing is, it's like, the other thing I really like that the first one does so well is introduce all these types of aliens as well, or races, so, I mean, not just your crew, but even like some of the psychos, like the I think the Elcors, who they talk in a monotone way, so they have to say the emotion they're feeling at the start. So they'll say like,
happy,
very happy, I love Mass Effect, sort of things like that. And it's like someone's thought, let's make a race where they can't express emotion, so they have to say it to you, and you've got the the Krogans who are like your tanks, your crazy war obsessed people.
Is it the Quarians? The Quarians are in Mass Effect. Is it Quarians?
Yeah, the Quarians are like Tally, and you so there's interesting stuff that comes out with them sort of over the second and third game. But yeah, no, you're right. It weaves that story, and so like in the first game, you touch a beacon, which then Shepard starts getting images, and then he realizes about the Reapers. Nobody believes him. And this is the thing I find cliched about the first and like the second game, where it's just like they won't believe him, even though there's all these threats happening and these things. It's like, I'm going to prove it to you, I'm going to prove it to you. It's like, it's not until the Citadel gets destroyed that they're like, oh, hold on, maybe he's got something.
In fairness, though, if they'd have gone, is there? All right, we'll go and fuck them up. You probably wouldn't have had a game. Do you know what I mean? It'd have turned into Space Invaders, and that would have been it.
but the thing, the sort of like key things in the first one that, again, kind of at the time sort of felt really big. So you've got like there's a mission where you have to sacrifice one of your crew.
Yes.
So in Vermeer, and again, that's led to so much debate online about who's the right person to sacrifice. But
who do you always sacrifice, Dan?
Sorry, Caden, but he doesn't make it to the second sort of last 2/3 of the trilogy. No.
Are these the same guys you find at the beginning of the first game?
I think Caden is already one of your squad. I think Ashley you find, or she gets added later. But yeah, so those are two. But the other interesting thing about the first game is you can also lose Rex.
Okay.
There's a confrontation where if you don't say the right thing, you haven't done his mission, and you haven't gotten high enough, I think, intimidation, I think you have to shoot him and put him down.
Oh, you have to kill. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't just walk off.
No. So you actually
put a hole in his head.
Yeah. He can actually die in the first game, which again I can never let happen. So yeah, so
Dan's read through that handbook. I've got to do that in that order and intimidate him that way. Fine, right, we're done.
Yeah, so it's a kind of, in a nutshell, that's the first game where it ends where you defeat Saren, and the council, you can either destroy the council or save them, which again we'll come on to the options choice later, that it doesn't change the game massively, but it's more about some minor things that happen in the later games.
And in the second one, am I right in thinking if you haven't played the first one, you get options to choose? It's not a canon thing. It gives you options, doesn't it? Say, did you do this or did you not? Yeah.
Yeah. So what they did because Mass Effect 2, I think, ended up on the PlayStation. And so what they did, they created a comic book, which went through the big options of that game. Then you get Mass Effect 2, which I think is described as the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy, where it's a lot darker. But the main thing about that was, and it still kind of blows me away, is the opening of that game.
It's the Normandy getting destroyed.
Yeah. And Shepard basically being killed.
Dead.
Yeah. Spoilers, no spoilers.
And then someone finds someone finds something of him and it gets his genetic thing gets re-encoded or something, isn't it?
Well, what it is 2 years later, you're kind of brought back by Cerberus, who are only referenced in the first game.
Shadowy underground cartel people.
They're like a human...
CIA.
Yeah.
They're the CIA of Mass Effect, aren't they?
Well, they're, depending on which side you're looking at, they're either like a terrorist organisation or they're a fighter organisation. They're trying to do the right by humans. And look, whatever their motives are, I mean, Martin Sheen, what a guy. I mean, I just love the fact, President Bartlett is the elusive man. But in extended media, which I don't have up here, it's downstairs in the garage, I've got the comic books, you find out that it's Liara who, working as a shadow broker, she gets the body and delivers it to
Oh, okay. So it's her that worked, because she was obviously from the first game. She's in the first game.
The first one, yeah. So you're resurrected under Project Lazarus.
It's a good name. Should have put spandex before it.
Yeah. And then obviously the whole game about this, it introduced like the loyalty missions where you recruit your crew, your heist crew. Because to me, this is what it is. It's a heist film, basically.
Yeah, totally.
And you have to, and the thing I don't like about it though is, after each mission, you've got to go around talking to them all. It's like they're so high maintenance because you can't progress their missions unless you go talk to them after. That was my point.
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind the back and forward, but I guess if you've played it more than once, it might become frustrating because it feels like it's slowing down the progress that is going to happen. Whereas first time you're playing it, you're like, I don't mind having a wander around and having a chat with people.
Well, it's more making sure you've done the right thing to trigger the next bit. Because again, I'll go back to my wife. She'll say, hasn't he said that before? And I'm like, yes, I've obviously not done the right bit of the mission to get the next bit of dialogue.
I haven't read the walkthrough on IGN, God damn it.
Yeah. But this is all about collectors so humans go missing on colonies, and it's this race called the Collectors who are working through Reaper indoctrination, who are doing it. But again, and it finishes with the suicide mission. So that is, for me, again, as well as the opening where you got this bombastic destruction of everything, the final mission is like a real heist film, and there are high stakes because the first time I played it, I did lose quite a lot.
Right.
People, and you can even ultimately, if not enough people survive, even Shepard then dies and it's game over. So you do have a game over state.
No, you can't. They won't even let you play Mass Effect 3. You put it in your machine, it goes, I'm sorry, you don't have a Shepard.
And there's no Shepards here.
There is no Shepard.
And the thing is, right, for me, like I said, I get so attached to these characters that there was one run through. I hadn't realised, and this sounds really bad, but I hadn't realised Tali had died at the end of Mass Effect 2. And it was only when I started Mass Effect 3 and in the ship, they've got then a board of all the people that have been lost. And I was walking past it and I thought, what's her name doing on there? And I thought, I can't go back and replay Mass Effect 2 now. So it's just...
Call yourself a fan.
But again, it gave me different options in Mass Effect 3, which I'd never seen before.
Oh, what? To select whether people survived or not?
Well, because she wasn't there, then
another
character will step in, and then you have different sort of interactions with people. But yeah, so Mass Effect 2 brought in the more fluid third-person shooting, simplified infantry, cinematic missions, the scanning of for minerals, which I actually quite like, and the planet.
Oh, on the planets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the little Easter egg, if you tried to send a probe on Uranus, there is a little Easter egg joke there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm going to go and probe Uranus.
Yeah, and the Paragon Renegade interrupts. So, yeah. So, did you say have you completed 2?
I've completed all of them.
You completed all of them.
Oh yeah. No, I played them all through completely and finished them. I just haven't done it more eight times, Dan.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We'll move on. So you get the majority of the characters come back from the first one, then you get a load of new characters, and the ones I'll call out are Elusive Man, Miranda Lawson, who is Yvonne Strahovski from Chuck.
It is Yvonne from Chuck and from Dexter.
I was going to say, I can't remember what her name was, but from Dexter as well. Yeah,
Yvonne Strahovski.
Yeah, Morden Solus, who it's too soon.
He's the scientist dude.
Yeah.
Right. They're the race that I often think of. Like, I always think like the Krogans are like the Vulcans. The Klingons.
Yes. Yeah.
And the what's his race? Morden Solus?
Solarians.
Solarians are like the Vulcans from Star Trek.
Yes.
You've always got like we're a science-based race, we're a war-based race, and it was always, because in oldie worldy times, it was the Vulcans were essentially the Chinese. The Klingons were the Russians. That's what this whole thing came from, and it's interesting to see these stereotypes or tropes continue through other sci-fi because they've all got them. Yeah, right? They all do in one way or another.
Well, they're like you said, they're the intelligent, but they are also very well adept at killing people. It seems, they're very And, I haven't kind of gone into it, but you've got the whole thing with the Krogan. So their race is being wiped out because they had something called the Genophage, which basically makes them infertile.
That's a big plot line, isn't it? And this is what I love. It's not just these overarching, like the Reaper piece that's important. There's that, and there's the Geth and the Quarian thing, which is basically AI dilemma thing, because they created one, then they became sentient, which happens in a lot of sci-fi, weirdly. And the Genophage story is a really big point in, and probably one of the biggest points in the series, isn't it? In terms of the decision you have to make.
Yeah, because I think, I can't remember, it's something like only 1 in 100 births will survive, and it's because the Krogan are just so war-loving that, if you think this council and these people have come together to say, right, we're going to wipe them out. And I think it's the Solarians who came up with the idea or invented it. And it's the Turians, who are Garrus's people, who basically, I think, launched it and kind of went and implemented it. So,
but it was Morden Solus who like refined it or made it work, wasn't it? Because you get into this whole thing with them, don't you?
Yeah. And then in the third game, if we're talking about this storyline, you've got the option to either to cure it, but then you get one of the Solarian counselors talk to you to say, you can't do this. I can sabotage it and make it look like it was an accident. Yeah. And it's like, these are some of the decisions that you've got to toy with and think through.
Do I commit genocide or not, basically?
Bearing in mind that, the Krogan has been one of your mainstay characters and sides, and depending on who you do. Because again, you can, as you're collecting the characters, you can choose. Normally you go out with 2 people. Yes. I generally pick the same 2 all the time.
Is it Rex and Garrus?
It's generally Rex and Garrus, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it might be. Yeah.
There'll be a time where I have to bring a couple of others, maybe because you need the science element. So I think in the first game, like Tally's quite good because she's got the science. but it's generally, I mean, Garrus and
Is Tanny the one with the mask?
Yeah.
And they live on. You find out they live on this floating. They're like nomads.
Yeah.
Is that those guys?
Yeah, the flotilla. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and then
I do remember stuff about this game.
And like I said, I know robots and AI isn't a new thing, but this was a big thing before AI was even.
Yeah, the whole Geth thing. Yeah, it's that. It's oh god, what was it? iRobot did a similar thing, didn't it? It's that story of creator creates life becomes sentient, sentient life wants freedom. It's the same thing with the Geth storyline, isn't it?
Yeah. And so, you're right, you've got these really big storylines, like Jacob's story is about his dad went missing, didn't it? And I think his dad then almost is like running like he's living like a god on this planet, and over the women and like treating the men really badly, and I think almost like drugging them with like the fruits or something on this. And it's like he's so relieved to find his dad, then basically disowns him, walks away with him, and you've got all these themes, right? And the other one who she's like a favourite character in the character itself, but it's really disappointing when games do this. Like, so I'm talking about Jack. So you know who Jack is. So is it played by? Is it Ruby Rose? No, that sounds wrong.
I think it might be Ruby Rose.
Is it? Let me just.
Yeah, she's the model actress.
Yeah, Australian.
Was in John Wick and Aussie. Yeah.
I think so. Anyway, or is it?
I recall the character. I can't remember what.
Either way, the character I can't remember now who played it. Such a traumatic background. So she was brought up in like that prison kind of thing, and
right,
sort of experimented on. But then they put her in like her main costume is just like basically like a leather belt across the nipples, and that's it, because she's all tattooed. So you've got to show the body right for the tattoos, right?
Sure, that's what they did it for.
Yeah.
Sure. Not some pervy dev who just went, let's do that.
Yeah, no. So I think it's Courtney Taylor I was looking up, so I want to get the right person. But but I like that character because I keep saying that for a few games, or in some of the games, I will romance her in that one, because to me, her and Shepard are both kind of broken, lost souls, and it feels like they would be. Do you know what I mean? They're the perfect match for each other. So and then you obviously get the suicide mission where you are attacking the collector base, and that's when you then find out that the elusive man wants to keep the Reaper technology, or you can destroy it. Yeah.
That's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. It's what bad guys do.
Yeah.
See it coming a mile off. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, and it's like you do realise they are known as a terrorist organisation, Shepard.
Yeah, I mean, clues in the name, dude. Think about it.
But also, Shepard, they did spend 2 years and like 4 billion credits bringing you back to life. So, you kind of owe them.
Well, there is this, but he didn't ask him to. He didn't ask him to. He was quite happy being dead.
Yeah. And then you've got Game 3, which, and again, people that don't hate me for skimming these so quickly, but we ain't got time.
I don't hate you, Dan.
No, you're great. You've got the third game is about the universe. Well, I was going to say it is about the universe uniting to take down the Reapers, although they still want you to be the busiest errand boy in the universe, because like
standard, right?
We'll help you, but we need you to do this. Yeah,
do a bunch of fetch quests for us, Shepard. But then, I mean, clues in the title.
Yeah, but you said it yourself. You've got the Genophage there. That comes to a combination there. You've got the Quarians v the Geths, where you can broker peace or watch one side be annihilated. You've got the Asari secret, where you see that they've taken, like, I think the Protheans, that they became as advanced because basically they stole the Protheans' technology. You've got the Catalyst.
Is that the one the Citadel blows up? Is that in the third one, or is that in the second one?
So that is in the third one, isn't it? Where, Udina, I think, betrays the council, and they start attacking the Citadel, and then you can get. I don't like Udina.
No, but I don't mind them blowing up the Citadel either, because then I don't get lost all the time.
Only the first one. They simplified it in the second one. They did simplify it in the second one.
I'll get lost in my own house, Dan, so that
So again, there pretty much all the characters are a bag. And again, they do, like I said, in the, you kind of shake your head now. Edie, they put Edie in a body, don't they? And it's that voluptuous, like shiny robot body. Because in the first act, Edie, it's and again, is it Trisha Helfer? She's the woman who's in loads of
from Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, she voices her. I think
it's Cylon and BSG.
Yeah,
she's great.
She was like
so good.
Or she was like the AI on the ship. In the second one, the one that talks to you.
Yeah.
That then gets put in a body, and Joker then fancies. And
Joker's what's his face from Buffy? Seth Green. Yeah. Best thing he ever did was Robot Chicken. But never mind. Move on.
And they introduced some new characters who one I didn't like, Vega, who is Freddie Prinze Jr. He was very
fuck that guy.
Bro.
He's married to Buffy.
Yeah, but he was very bro, dude bro.
Dude bro.
Wants to fight you in the first, wants to spar with you. It's like, hold on, I'm fucking saving the galaxy. I swore because it's Mass Effect. It's like, I'm fucking saving the galaxy. Don't you give me no back talk.
Don't come at me, bro.
Who the hell is Mass Effect that get me to swear if
you said shit earlier, Dan. I'm noting this down, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to bleep them out.
It's all gone out the window. And you've also got, for me, which is one of the big controversies of the series as well, is you've got Javik. I was going to say, why does his name escape me? Who is the Prothean?
Right. Why is it a controversy, Dan? Explain.
Because it was day one DLC.
Right.
And to me, he's one of the most important characters in there. So you could play the game without him as such. But because he's so intrinsically linked with the history of the Reapers, wherever you go, he gives you so much information and background on it. And to me, that should be included in the game. It shouldn't be DLC.
Sneaky. What they needed was a public backlash about it so that they then relinquished and released it. But what would have happened if they'd have done that, a la Vampire Masquerade? It would have been shit.
Well, yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, no, don't say that. It's going to be great. It's not.
I'm going into the reviews.
No. and then you've obviously got the ending, which really divided people. So
I think that was the biggest. I think that was the biggest controversy, and I have notes.
So yeah, I want to hear your view because I'm where because I get too excited and I talk a lot of things. So
no, you're all good.
You get to the ending, and the culmination of 3 games over like 6 or 7 years is pick a door, and one is destroy, one is control, one is synthesis. So talk to me about the ending, the controversy, and which one you choose.
Well, it was a bit shit, wasn't it? I mean, that was. I think the worst thing for me, probably. I shouldn't have. I read about the ending, and I think because I like reading about gaming stuff, it was everywhere. And whilst I didn't read what the choices were, it was almost unavoidable at the time because the game was so big, and it was the culmination of 3 games, so it wasn't just about the 3rd game. And the disappointment from the community was just like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, so I knew what was coming, and I was like, and then when you get there, it is literally like pick a door, and I'm like, what? Like, I thought it was a euphemism, like pick a door. No, it's pick a door, and you're like, fucking hell. I can't remember what the options were. There was control the Reapers.
So you've got control the Reapers, where Shepard merges his mind with them. So basically, he becomes almost like a Reaper. You've got destroy, where you destroy all the mass relays, and that wipes out all synthetic. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did that. I destroyed the relays, and I can't remember what the other one was.
And synthesis, where you merge organics and humans and synthetics together.
I destroyed. And I will ask you about yours in a minute. But the biggest criticism around it, and the biggest reason I think it was the most controversial thing, is because it made kind of all of the thousands of choices that you'd made throughout that previous 3 games. It's totally inconsequential. You go, hang on a minute, I've done all of this stuff, and you're telling me none of it fucking matters whatsoever. And so there was you probably know this, but there was the retake the Mass Effect movement.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
That raised impressively raised over £80,000 for the Child's Play charity as a result. And there was even one fan who filed a formal complaint to the Federal Trade Commission, arguing that BioShock falsely advertised the game's promise of shaping the outcome, because you didn't. It was so many people that just, it was hilarious. Yeah, I mean, look, you can't get away from the fact it was disappointing and you were choosing a door, but I don't think it had that much of a profound effect on me. I was just like, I've done that. Other games end, there's the credits. Okay. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? What I wonder, actually, no, let's get into what you were doing, because I have a wonder about what happens should number 4 get released. But what did you choose to do?
So I've done all 3 because I wanted to do all 3. But my canon ending will always be destroy, and the reason being, I've got reasons. I back it up. Synthesis, where you merge in the organics and the synthetics together, it's like, well, hold on. Now all of a sudden, I'm forcing all these races, these peoples to be something they're not. And so I'm thinking Shepard wouldn't do that. I'm talking about Shepard now. Control, I'm thinking like, well, I don't want Shepard to be a mind, like a Reaper. And at what point, what if his mind then gets corrupt and he's like the biggest warmonger in the galaxy at that point, And so destroy, because from my mind, you are spending the whole 3 games trying to destroy these Reapers, and it feels like that would be the natural one. Now, yes, the horrible thing is you destroy all synthetic life, so including Edie and the Geth. But you'd like to think at some point you are then civilization will rebuild them.
Right.
We'll do it. But yeah, in my mind, it's destroy. But the thing about that is you're destroying the mass relays, which makes me wonder where the next game's going to go.
And that's my point. Yeah, depending on which one you pick as canon, because you pick either of the other 2, it's going to be a bit weird because you're going to play, well, assuming you play a Shepard now controlling the Reapers, which feels a bit odd.
Yeah.
Or fundamentally, all life is now merged, synthetic and organic. That feels a bit weird. So, yeah. And I know they released an extended, they kind of bowed to pressure and released an extended cut that really didn't do anything to help the problem, did it?
No, it just extended the endings. It gave a bit more context, but that wasn't people's issue with it. The people's issue is exactly what you said. It was a door. That's it.
Yeah.
And I can't, for me as well, that's what I want to say. And look, I'm not going to be one of these people that starts protesting outside a publisher's house or something.
You will at some point.
Yeah, but it's like, but it's spot on. If they hadn't said every decision counts,
matters.
Matters. And then all it boiled down to, and you could get the clues from the second game where it might be you did something in the first game, and as you're walking past people, they'll be talking about what you did. And that's all it that's all it boiled down to, was just a conversation or maybe an interaction that you might have. Like there's one where you save a character from a race like the Rachni, if you let them go.
Yeah.
In the later game, they'll control a random person in the Citadel and they'll start talking to you. And, and that's it. So, and I can kind of live with that, but they just built it up. And I think they made the rod for their own back. Because, I mean, in the end, the pick a door isn't necessarily a terrible thing in its own right, but it feels like a cop-out, ultimately.
I don't even know if they needed to do it. I know, I appreciate the game was fully based on choice, right? So everything you did, the Genophage and the Geth, and it was all about choice. And even some of the smaller decisions that you made, a crew member living or dying, but did it really need to culminate in a 3-way option?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You could have built a canon ending that was essentially just, and this is the thing you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Be it a bombastic, another suicide run or a battle, or you could have done something that wasn't just pick a choice. And you can see where that because there was some conspiracy theory, wasn't there, about actually it was all a hallucination and it was an indoctrination of and I know the developers turned around and said, no, that isn't it at all, because I think people were then, like you and I, discussing about what would the 4th game be. Well, that's an easy cop-out, right? If it was a hallucination and none of that happened, the fourth game could be an easy win because you could go, well, actually, no, they still exist. You're still fighting them or whatever it is. So, yeah, you can see where that came from. But like I said, the developers turned around and said, no, it wasn't an indoctrination thing. You weren't hallucinating and being captured by the Reapers or whatever.
Well, that all stemmed from right at the start of the game, because at the start of 3, you're court-martialed because this is the other thing. I mean, you talked about like wiping out race earlier. There was DLC between the game called Arrival, where you literally wipe out a colony of Batarians. There's like 300,000 of them. So you're court-martialed for that, even though it was stopping the Reapers coming through that. But the council, again, don't believe the Reapers, even though in the next game they're attacking Earth. But that's another complaint there. But
Calm down, no doubt.
As then the Reapers, you're on Earth awaiting your trial, and then the Reapers start attacking, and as people there's a little boy who you see early in the game who escapes into a vent, and then he gets onto a craft, and as it's escaping, the Reapers destroy it. And then throughout the game, Shepard starts having these dreams of this boy.
Oh, you see the
in
boy
the forest,
then,
and then you both start burning, and people are thinking, is it PTSD? Is that a thing about PTSD? So that's where then some of this indoctrination theory come from. But I mean, look, the ending was disappointing, but for me as a whole, the game, I still loved it because it is really, for me, the emotional point of the game. I mean, it's quite depressing, but all the characters are realizing this could be it for them, and you know that this is it. So even at the end where you're talking and you're going around before the final mission where like the Krogan are ramping up for the battle, and you have a chat to all your people, and like I said, the bit with Garrus up on the Citadel, it really does, for me anyway, and if you get invested in it, really starts pulling at the heartstrings. And you feel like it is a culmination of a massive, massive effort to destroy these Reapers. And I think that I've said it a number of times, and I remember talking to a friend where I worked at the time. He was a huge Mass Effect fan. To me, the game should have ended 10 minutes earlier. So there's a bit, I don't know if you remember, where Anderson and Shepard get beamed up to I think it's the Citadel. It's like the catalyst where that's the final thing where they need to like activate it to allow the forces to attack the Reapers. And there's a bit where Shepard and Anderson are really badly injured. They slump against the console panel and they're looking out into space. And Anderson's talking to Shepard and saying, I'm really proud of you, almost like a father to a son. And it's almost like if that's where then the game ended, they both died there, because that's where Anderson dies. And then you're going, to me, that feels like the perfect end.
You'd have been happy with that as a kind of...
Still depressingly depressing, but, that feels like a proper emotional point for those two characters. And then you could see the battle taking place. But then, no, then they go spoil it with the space child and...
it just feels tacked on, doesn't it, for some reason? But where do you as a huge fan, where do you hope it goes? Like, inevitably there's a number 4, right? If EA aren't screwed themselves into the ground with this buyout, and they cancel it, where do you hope it goes? What do you want to see?
So we've not talked about Andromeda, and I said to you we won't. Not because I don't...
Let's not bother.
Yeah,
it was rushed load of shit.
Yeah, and I played it, and once you get into it, it's actually okay. It's not bad, but...
I played it. I did play it.
I've only played it the once.
But it was rushed to market.
Yes,
they cut the development time by like 6 months or something, didn't they? And
yeah,
so no surprise.
And sorry, we played their trailer, but I think Josh has got, and if he sends it to me again, I wonder if we could get video in it. One of the favourite bugs he recorded, one of the characters, I'm sure, drinks from a mug through her ear. Starts doing.
Get that video, and we'll get it in.
I'll ask him.
100%.
That's a really difficult one, because as much as I love the original trilogy, I almost don't want Shepard to be back.
Okay. That's something completely new.
Yeah, and I don't mind it being in the same universe, but I don't know. Part of me thinks...
I think there's only one universe there, and it's not multi-dimensional, so I think the universe should have to have it.
Sorry, no, what I meant is like within the same time frame. But maybe a different element. Like I said to you, and we'll talk about it more in depth in a future episode on TV stuff, but whether it's focused, that's kind of what Andromeda did at the start, because I think it was set between 2 and 3, but then they're in stasis for 1,000 years, whatever. If they're going to do it, bring the Shepherd back, and I wouldn't say no to that, because firstly, we've not touched on it, but like the voice actors, so it's Jennifer Hale and Mark Mears, I mean, superb. And it's great to see voice actors who genuinely love the characters that they've played as well, because if you see them, even to this day on social media, they absolutely adore. Like, I think today, Jennifer Hale was saying she would love to be in it, the next game, in whatever way. So big shout out to Mark Mears and Jennifer Hale. If you're gonna bring it back, it needs to be, and you alluded to it, it needs to be almost like a BioWare game and not a rushed EA game. Using, and I'm not saying AI for the sake of AI, but if it's just a generic shooter game now, because I can imagine it just being a third person shooter now.
I don't know how dynamically the RPG and third person shooter has opened up much in the way of a combination of those games. I'm trying to think of examples that do that to this day in terms of, RPG and shooter. I can't think of off the top of my head any that spring to mind immediately, and I don't know how, therefore I don't know what sort of things, because there are lots that do a similar thing. You have a party of people, you can control them to do other things. They all have powers or, some sort of impact on the fighting or battle that you're going through. But I don't know if anything's progressed significantly that would give it a wow factor or make it something different. I'm sure they could, there are developers out there and game designers who know far more about the mechanics side of things.
I mean, look, there is scope. So in if you do the destroy ending, and you've got, because there was a multiplayer in that game when it launched, Mass Effect 3, and it wasn't bad, actually. Of
course there is, because you got to tack multiplayer into everything.
But it wasn't actually bad. It was kind of like a 4-player horde mode ultimately.
Right.
But you had the thing called like galactic readiness in the game. So by playing multiplayer, your readiness went up. So it depended on certain things in the game. So if you, I can't remember, I think it's if you get like in the top tier of the galactic readiness, there is a brief moment in the credits of the Destroy where you see Shepard's he's under rubble, so you see the N7 badge and you hear like he's taking a breath and you see the rubble move slightly. So there's a theory he's still alive.
He's still alive, right, okay.
I think doing it straight after, having said what I said, wouldn't be bad if they make the story right, because you have now destroyed the mass relays, you have wiped out synthetic life, so there's a whole moral thing there. I mean, how is he going to cope with that? And also, what does that mean for like the races that are left and where they've been stranded, because you've destroyed the travel, right? Mm-hmm. So it feels like there's a fascinating story that could be in there straight after it.
Yeah, because I always think that when you're telling a tale, when you know the overarching story, so you've got the story between Mass Effect 1 and 3, and you've got this, this period of time. Ultimately, you know what the ending's going to be. All right, one of 3 endings. And when you're trying to tell a different story set in that same time period, I think that story has to be so much stronger. Otherwise, you're just going to keep going back to, but I know what happens. So you almost have to have a different threat or a different thing that's driving that story forward. And I think that's why it's so difficult to do. I think that's why a lot of in Star Wars, a lot of the sidebar stories that have been told, with probably the exception of like The Mandalorian, have really struggled to get off the technical ground, because, you're following a story, but you're ultimately going, but I know how it ends.
Yeah.
I know that person's, it's like the first Star Wars trilogy. You're kind of going, but I know that kid turns into Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You've spoiled the surprise for me. So I'm not even going to talk about the last 3, which just remade the first 3. But am I making sense?
No, absolutely.
So if you're trying to, if you're doing a story, and I think for me, if it was to go somewhere, I'd want to see what happened next. I wouldn't want to see something set in that same way. I get what you were saying. You and I had a brief conversation earlier about it, and I get what you're saying. When they look at developing this TV series on Amazon, I get how to do that in that world. That might work, right? Because it's the first time it's been done in that media, and people are introduced to that thing. Although I strongly suspect they'll go down the Shepard route anyway. But in the game, I'd want more. Set after.
Absolutely. I think the TV show, the reason I'd be happier with that is because we've seen it before. When you try to reproduce a game, it doesn't always work. And There are people like myself who have played the game, who spent hours and hours with my shepherd.
Your shepherd.
And it
my
won't,
shepherd.
it won't be the TV one, right? Whereas, so you've got scope. Whereas here, I think now the thing about it, yes, set it straight after where the repercussions of your decision play out.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I only want them to make it if it's done right, is because, like I said, for me, it's the story and the themes. There, you said it yourself. You made a really good point. There are some really heavy themes in this game.
Really heavy, yeah.
And that, to me, is, I think, what brings me back. I mean, I said to you, my wife will watch it like it's a film. Yeah. And it's
very well written.
Yeah.
It is superbly written.
So to capture people who aren't into games like that, so if you just throw in a space shooter, and you're going to have a cutscene here or there, that's not what Mass Effect is. So it's almost basically, I guess what I'm saying is almost I don't mind as long as they do it the right way.
Are all the because the three original creators, they're all doctors, weren't they? Are they all still?
I don't think they are. I think
it was Ray Mazika, Greg. I hate the way they've all got really complex surnames. Greg Zeshuk and Augustine Yip. Oh, his is easy. Actually, Yip.
One at least has left. I know one left.
That Ray left.
Think so.
Was it Ray who left?
You got Casey Hudson, I think was.
Casey Hudson was, yeah. He was one. Yeah, he left as well, didn't he?
I think he has. Let's have a quick look.
Because BioWare was founded by the Doctors, and Casey Hudson created Mass Effect. That was how it worked, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and that's all. But even so, now it then be farmed out to someone else when it all, like I said, AI will write the script.
Just opens that fucking AI slop now. That's the only danger. It depends how far along the development route that thing is. You know? Yeah, I mean, they were big games and they made a lot of money. So I don't know. Maybe there's hope that they'll continue.
There's a massive market for it as well. There's a massive market.
But it's the woke thing that's the danger, isn't it? It's the perspective on, as politically how that game comes across and how BioWare are currently coming across to certain people who aren't necessarily on the left, particularly with games like the latest Dragon Age and things like that, where it's, the screams are it's gone all woke because of X.
But
right?
The thing about, sorry to interrupt, but the thing about Mass Effect though is it's always had that. I mean, I was talking to you at lunch, wasn't I? So I had some other notes. So it was one of the things that people talk about is how inclusive it is, because you do have, representation. So you do have same-sex romances. You had the famous or
even
infamous,
the computer's called EDI, Dan.
You had the infamous Fox News Sexbox segment where it's like, oh my god, this game you can have sex with aliens. So ban this sick filth.
Just saying, just putting it out there. No one batted an eye when you were shagging a fucking bear in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just saying.
Oh dear.
Progressive, mate. We're progressive.
Yeah. So and I think, look, in this day and age, it feels like everyone's going to complain about something.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like I said, if we look at the themes that are in Mass Effect, that is just incredible, right? What they did framing a game. But what I also would say is just about 3 as well. To address the ending, they did release some really good DLC, which was the Citadel DLC, which I don't know if you ever played that.
I did not.
So it fits in. It came out after the game, but it fits in just before the final mission, where it's ultimately it's almost like a comedy, where you end up chasing a clone of Shepard, and it leads to some quite funny conversations. There's a whole thing about it being a meme about he keeps saying I should go, and that clone traps you and your companion's in a like a cell, and he goes, right, something like I should go, and then Shepard goes, I don't sound like that, do I? And then as this thing's panning out on this massive thing where you've been locked in, he's going, no, I sound much better than that, don't I? Sort of thing like that. And then it culminates with a party so Anderson, I think, gives you his flat on the Citadel, his house. Very nice one.
Right.
And all your surviving companions, you meet up for a party, and there's a photo at the end. And so, but it just makes the ending even more depressing.
I don't cry that.
So that would, I've done well. I've done well.
You held it together.
I haven't got over Mordin. It had to be me. So it had to be me. But on DLC, so obviously they then did the the Legendary Edition, which I think you should go buy. Satsu, thank you. He bought it for me on the Steam Deck when I got it, because you generally pick it up for like £4 now. It addressed a load of bugs, but going back to digital v physical, there is one bit of DLC that isn't in that game, which is, I think, Pinnacle Station for the first one, not story driven, but that's because the source code got corrupted and they can't include it. So, digital v physical, it got corrupted.
Does that mean you're never going to be able to play that again?
I think only if you've got it on the 360. I think only if you've got the
you
original.
specifically can never play it again.
No, I can't play that one because,
you don't have a 360.
Actually, having said that, no, I have to see, because I've got the original version. Maybe I can.
Emulator.
We'll update you later. But
emulator on your Steam Deck, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah. There was a few things I just wanted to. There was a few facts I wanted to throw out. So originally, Mass Effect wasn't going to be Mass Effect. It was going to be Star Control 4. So apparently, there was an RPG series called Star Control, which there must have been 3 of, and they wanted to make it the 4th.
Star Control?
Yeah. Oh, look at your face.
I remember Star Control.
Look at
You're kidding me?
No, apparently, before Mass Effect existed, BioWare pitched a new entry in the 1990 space RPG series Star Control. When they couldn't get the rights, they decided to create their own universe, one with deep lore, moral choice, and cinematic storytelling.
I remember Star Control.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I did not.
There you go. So you could have had the Star Control 4 instead of Mass Effect.
Oh, wow. It's just, when you say something, you go, ding, and you go, I remember that. And then you start looking at it, oh my God, I do remember that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm just looking at images of it now, and it's
I don't remember.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was influenced by Star Wars and Blade Runner, so they said they wanted to capture the space opera feel of Star Wars and Star Trek, but with the philosophical tone and ambiguity of Blade Runner and Babylon 5.
Bab 5, you can, I get that.
The dialogue wheel was a gamble. So they said developers feared players would be frustrated not knowing the exact line Shepard would say, which I still think is a point, because we made a joke on one of the podcasts where it might say something like, fine, and then the full text is something like Shepard tells someone to go F themselves or something.
Yeah. It is a little bit ambiguous, isn't it?
Yeah, but then it influenced games like Dragon Age, The Witcher, and Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
The voice actors voiced the entire game twice. They had to do it once for Paragon and once for Renegade.
Okay. Did they have to speak a bit deeper and angrier?
Well, it says Jennifer Hale has been praised for making Paragon Shepard feel warm yet commanding, while Mark Mears' calm delivery suited the Renegade path. And again, it kind of address it. I know there's a whole debate of which Shepard you should play it as. I'm just glad people love and have the choice and are passionate, but play whichever one you want to play.
Yeah, you do you.
Yeah, you do you.
You do you.
The Geth were inspired by real-world AI ethics debates. They were deliberately written not as villains. Yeah, not as villains, but as misunderstood synthetic species.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. There was some more. What else have we? The suicide mission in Mass Effect 2 was designed like a probability simulator. So I said that earlier. Don't need to go into that.
You did.
Mass Effect 2's opening scene, death scene, was controversial itself inside BioWare. So some thought it was too risky. Others loved the drama. So it ended up being I
love a bit of drama.
Yeah.
I love the drama. I loved it.
Yeah.
It's drama.
And now they don't bat an eyelid at putting 30% sort of price rises and everything.
Mate, you imagine the drama at Microsoft. Don't do it. Don't. Sorry. No, back on track. Sorry.
Yeah. The suicide mission music, and that's another thing. Actually, I don't think I've said I love the music, and
you must have the soundtrack.
I'm not, but it comes out on vinyl in a couple of weeks, and I've bought it. I've pre-ordered it twice and cancelled it twice because it's pricey, but I really want it.
Treat yourself.
I really want it.
Treat
I really
yourself.
want it. It's
After
an amazing
this episode.
Yeah, there you go. It's an amazing soundtrack. But the music for that was finished just days before launch, so which is fine. At least the game was finished, right?
Which launch though?
The final, the Mass Effect 2, sorry, before, so it came out just days, they finished the soundtrack just days before it went gold. BioWare had to build a new animation tool for Shepard's face. So
you got a unique face. Such a unique face.
Because it could be male or female with hundreds of permutations, so they created a new system called the Dialogue Mode Facial Editor, sorry.
Of course they did. MDFE for short.
DMFE, sorry, dialogue mode.
DMF, not MDF.
MDFE. You're thinking about your kitchen again, aren't you?
Kitchen again. DMFE.
The Reaper design was meant to be unsettlingly biological. So it combines machine precision with organic horror. The Normandy's crew were modelled after BioWare developers, which often happens in games. This is it. With going back to FemShep, MailShep, BioWare expected only 10% of players to pick FemShep, but it ended up being around 25 to 30%. And FemShep became so popular that the Mass Effect 3 marketing finally featured her alongside the Mel.
I remember that. I remember that whole thing about that.
Yeah, and the Legendary Edition fixed more than 40,000 bugs.
Wow.
I think it's like broke animations, lighting, some quest bugs, speech. And the Reaper's horn influenced Hollywood. So I hadn't realised it was out before then, but, it's saying you then found it famously in Inception at the end of that, Pacific Rim and Man of Steel. But that Reaper's horn is very much iconic.
Oh, yeah.
Wah.
Yes, that noise, yeah. Yeah, I'll get a copy of it.
Bit more sinister than I did it, but
it's
like not a crying baby. But so I just want to say I love it so much just because of everything we've said and a lot of things we haven't said. I mean,
you do, and we've never mentioned it on this podcast before. So first time people are going to know that you love Mass Effect.
Yeah. I mean, even so, you can probably see on the shelf, I've even got the board game. And that's the first board game, outside of like Monopoly and Operation, the proper adult grown-up board game.
What's the subtext? Priority?
Hagalaz.
Hagalaz? That's a real word.
Yeah.
You're making up words?
No, Priority Hagalaz. So...
Oh, they're making up words. Okay, fine.
So I think, again, it is set between 2 and 3. So and it's great because it's it could be solo or up to 4 people, but it's just so I've got the comic books, I've got the board game, and it's like I said, it's just
proper fan. Have you got a poster? You used to have a poster, Dan.
No, that's probably because they don't do it. But if they did a poster now, I'd have it.
I bet you can get a framed picture.
Oh no.
I'll send you a link of somewhere you can get a really decent metal print of Mass Effect.
Only if we can get Jennifer Hale and Mark Meir to sign it. If we can get it,
I'll send you a link to Displate, and I bet you there's a bunch of them on Displate.
Yeah. No, but but to sum up, look, like I said, I love it mainly because for me, look, it's not. I've always said I'm not going to sit here and say it's a perfect game. There are a lot of things that either haven't aged well or weren't great to start. Like the Mako in the first one was a nightmare to control. The little
start me on that.
First level, the side missions.
Moon Rover.
Yeah, very repetitive. You land on a planet. It's all the same buildings. It's not. I'm not saying it's the perfect game, but
it's just showing its age. I think is more than anything, right?
But
like the Scooby-Doo cartoons where they're running past the same background every time. You're like, I'm sure I've been to this planet before. It looks very same. It's different colour.
Yeah, but for me, it just hits everything, sort of both in storytelling and just like I said at the start. It felt like the creators put love into that game. That's what
it is 1,000 times better than Starfield. I'm just going to put it out there, right? If I was given the option to play an action RPG sci-fi game, and it was like, do you want to play Mass Effect or do you want to play Starfield? I'm just going ME every time.
Yeah. I think that's all I was going to say about it, Dan. Was there anything else you had?
No, I have nothing. You're the master. You are the Mass Effect master. So I'm in awe of your knowledge. It's
a big fan.
Yeah, I love it. It's a good game. I'm actually after this. I may well go back and play Mass Effect 2.
Yeah,
I may go back and have a go because I talking to you, I do remember how much I've enjoyed the story, and probably from the second one onwards, to be fair. And I just want to pick a door.
Yeah, there you go. And that's what I always say to people. If you're struggling either to get into the first game or you've never played it, again, I think jumping in at the second game and doing the comic book honestly isn't a bad bad move.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Oh, you even get Buzz Aldrin at the end of the third game.
Surely he's dead by then.
No, he voices a character at the end.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Right,
he voices a character at the
yeah.
end. And
That's a giveaway and a half, isn't it?
yeah.
You get Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah.
What? There's more than one of him.
Yeah.
Everyone gets one. You get a Buzz Aldrin. You get a Buzz Aldrin. Everyone gets a Buzz Aldrin.
But yeah, it's well, anyway, no, I won't go into this. There's a whole thing that can, but we're too far into this episode to talk about that now. So yeah,
Part 2 coming up soon.
Let us know. Let us know what you think about Mass Effect in this Mass Effectiest of all weeks. Oh,
and stay tuned for Dan on Mastermind, where his specialist subject will be.
Yeah, just don't ask
Star Trek.
me. Just don't ask me Liara's race.
Or name.
But look, like I said, I know there's so much we haven't touched upon and skimmed the surface, but let us know. Get in touch with us. We keep saying it, and we're not mentioning it because we've recorded out of orders, but we have had so many comments on videos lately, whether they're agreeing with us or not. But we do, so we do try to answer all of them. I know the Mass Effect community is huge out there. So yeah, if you're seeing this on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok videos, drop us a comment.
Absolutely, 100%. And while you're there, if you haven't, please do like and subscribe.
Yes.
I always say, it doesn't mean a lot to you. It takes a click of a button, but it means a hell of a lot to us.
And I think that probably the only way we can end this episode is in the words of Commander Shepard themselves and say, I should go.
Half an hour.
Dan with a gaming flair, pixel dreams and worlds to share, joystick tales and button cues. Welcome to Gaming Views.
One take?
Yeah, should we just do it in the one take? Is that fine?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck it. Do it on the night.
Let's roll with it. Fuck this. Yeah. Right.
Fuck that shit.
Fuck this. Right, we've got to start the episode now.
Oh yeah, where's my notes?